Well, I tell you, there's one very fortunate person who I can take you to now in Porto who got to watch this Champions League final, one of the fewish fans that were over there, certainly one of the very few Americans that got given access to the country, special permission from the embassy to be allowed in. Jenny Chu, what a moment.
Hi guys, I'm Jenny Chu. Follow along with me as I travel around Europe covering Champions League for CBS Sports. This is Jenny in Europe. So we haven't had a Jenny in Europe vlog in a very long time. After the group stage ended, getting to the knockout stages with COVID and all was incredibly difficult. But then we get a call from Pete Radovich, our boss, Nico and I both, and he's telling us about our next assignment, which is CONCACAF Nations League. It's the first time ever that this tournament is happening. And then Pete goes, by the way, you guys are going to the Champions League final as well. I was in shock, honestly. We hang up with Pete and Nico and I FaceTime immediately, and I was bawling. I was like, is this real? Is this actually happening? Nico and I get to go to Portugal for the Champions League final between Chelsea and Manchester City. Such an emotional moment, to be quite honest. And let me try to tell you how it all went down. We obviously had to take COVID tests before we could fly. I think it was maybe 24 hours or 48 hours beforehand. And we also had to get special permission from the Portuguese consulate to enter into Portugal. I put a little poll up on my Insta story, where do you guys think we're going? Everyone was like, obviously you're going to the Champions League final in Portugal. So that was incredibly exciting. We're traveling. We have the shortest layover in Paris. We almost missed our flight. Nico and I are sprinting through the airport. I mean, full on sweat. Finally, we do make our plane, we get to Portugal, but our luggage does not. We don't have our luggage, and we have to be on camera the next day for a broadcast hit for Big CBS for the show called We Need to Talk. It's an all-female broadcast, and we don't have any clothes for it. I am wearing a Pink Floyd shirt, t-shirt, and sweatpants. CBS is go get whatever you need to be on camera, whatever you need. We'll help you out. So we go to the mall and we have 1 hour to figure out our outfits. It was hilarious.
Yeah, maybe.
We settled for a pink blazer and black pants and a black bodysuit. It's whatever. We don't buy makeup or anything like that. We're just gonna have to figure it out and hope it all goes well. We're at the stadium. Man City is currently training, match day -1. There's gonna be press in a little bit. So the day before the broadcast, Nico and I went walking around to get some food, and we heard chants across the river.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear those chants out in the distance.
We saw a ton of Manchester City fans celebrating before the game, kind of working up excitement. And not all of those people had tickets to the game because there were certain rules and regulations about getting tickets, but they came to experience the final in Porto, Portugal, which was definitely against the rules, but they found their way, and I have nothing to do with any of that. So it was kind of cool to see that excitement build up, even though we're in COVID times. That's something that we haven't seen in so long, fans gathered. So definitely different than my group stage experiences. Anyways, our luggage finally arrives. We get to go to dinner with our broadcast team.
This is the greatest news ever. I love you. Biggest hugs to my luggage ever. People are laughing at me. So sorry.
And incredibly exciting stuff. I mean, our broadcast team that was on the ground for Portugal, obviously you guys know who's in London, but the broadcast team on the ground was Nico and I, the Americans. Then Peter Drury was calling the game for CBS. That was my first time meeting him. What a legend. He is obviously Guillaume Balaguer, who's my partner on air. You guys have seen him in my other vlogs. Also a legend. And the legend himself, Peter Schmeichel. That's the first time I met him, even though we have all been co-workers in person. Nico and him have worked together before, but I had never been on the same game as him. And what a guy. That is a legendary goalkeeper. People were flipping out when I put it on my Instagram story. They were like, oh my God, you met Peter Schmeichel. He's that guy. We got to have dinner together. We got to really talk about the perspective of being there, covering a Champions League final, what it all means, how we all feel, how it's been working for CBS this year. And it was such a great dinner to get to talk to all of them. We actually did get into a really big subject about my nerves, about being on air, and how that's something that I've been working through during the group stages. I've kind of talked about it on my previous vlogs at the group stages, but they all provided me with incredible perspective about that moment and how I just have to enjoy the moment, and that, everybody feels nervous and everyone, I don't know, they told me all of these things about them as athletes as well, Peter Schmeichel specifically, and it really helped me headspace-wise going into game day.
I can't see Manchester City fans in the stadium anymore. This is dark blue. This is Chelsea blue all through the stadium, and it is incredible. You know, you guys were giving credit to Thomas.
That's the most comfortable I've felt on air in a really long time. I don't know why. I think it was just like, I'm here and I want to take it in. I want to enjoy this and I want to look back at this forever. And I don't want to look at myself and be like upset that I was scared to make a mistake. So more than anything, I was like, let's let it rip. This is the moment of my life, and I can't believe I'm here, and I just want to have fun with it. And I think that all my coworkers kind of put that in me, that mindset and that perspective, and I had the most fun I've had, and it felt like addicting to be there in that energy, and what a privilege it was.
One moment, guys, one moment. Check it out. Congratulations to this Chelsea team. Honestly, congratulations to the fan base.
Obviously, I've worked with Chelsea all season long as the US content creator, and then I'm working CBS Champions League. So like those two worlds come colliding in the final, and then them overall winning it. I was like, guys, I'm definitely good luck. This is amazing. I'm good luck. Chelsea, you owe me for this one. I've done nothing, but anyways, it was awesome. I'm like actually taking a moment to like think about it. I was really emotional. I sat there like looking at the scenes of like the players hugging and celebrating, and even during the game kind of like I can't believe I'm here, and I swear I'm never gonna lose that, like that atmosphere. I don't get to play anymore. I don't get to be part of that moment, but I can still be a part of it as a broadcaster, and I think that's incredibly special. So we head to Denver immediately from Portugal, like direct flight, 24 hours of travel, over 24 hours of travel actually, to cover the Final Four, is what people have called the CONCACAF Nations League finals. That is between the US national team, the Mexican national team, Honduras, and Costa Rica. We get to prepare by watching all the press conferences, reading a bunch of things, and Nico and I kind of work together when we're researching together. I learn a lot from him because he's been in the business longer than I have. It's really nice to kind of like cover the same things with a friend, with someone who has the same kind of passion you do and also is like willing to help. One of the things that actually he told me is I have this tendency to call people coach or profe, because as a player, I called my coaches profe, like very respectfully. And he was like, no, you call people by their first name. You call coaches Tata, Gerardo, like that's the Mexican national team coach. And that's a good lesson, because I would have called him profe and it would have sounded weird to some people. I guess depends, you know, everyone has a different way. So I learned from him in that sense. I like preparing with him. And then I got to meet the rest of our broadcast team. This was a different broadcast team. We had Kate Abdo leading the show as always, amazing Kate Abdo. Then we had Clint Dempsey. I'm looking at the announcer lineup because I'm gonna forget. Clint Dempsey on TV for the first time. It was a really big deal. When the press release went out, everyone was like, we're watching to see Clint Dempsey do TV. He was wonderful, he was amazing to meet. And we had Charlie Davies, another US men's national team legend. Actually, all of these guys are. Uguchi Onyewu, first time working with them. Yaneli Frias is on the Mexican national team. She is outstanding. That was my first time meeting her, but we've like been in the same circles many, many times. Obviously, Nico Cantor and I, and then Maurice Adu, another national team legend, was calling the game with Andres Cordero, Marcelo Balboa, and Adrian Garcia Marquez. So that was our broadcast team on the ground, but our bosses actually were in Denver too, so we had like a ton of people.
Okay, the day before the match, we are here in the stadium. We have our sound checks done, and let's see some games tomorrow.
And again, to cover a USA-Mexico matchup and then for it to be a final is an incredible privilege. To be quite honest, if you're not familiar with it, it's huge. I played in a USA-Mexico game, and as a Mexican national team player and as an American, it's an incredibly emotional experience. And in the preparation for that game, we watched like videos of like compilations between the two teams, and typically like those compilations are like Mexico winning and stuff to get us going. And I cried when the coach showed us that video, and it's an emotional thing. You know, I feel so proud to be both, to be Mexican and American, and we can go on and on and on for days about that, but to get to cover a game like that is something rare and special, and we got to do it, and it was crazy. Obviously the US ends up winning. There's a ton of stuff that happens in that game, but to be our first time broadcasting the US men's national team on CBS, and to have this new lineup of announcers, new broadcast team, and then for the USA to win is just something that you would write in a storybook. And the game itself was like a movie.
This has to be one of the most insane games in the history of games.
think I can get into it without taking a million years to tell you guys like how it all went down, but Ethan Horvath ends up being this huge hero on the night. He saves a penalty kick to keep the US winning, and Christian Pulisic scores his penalty kick. I got a perfect video behind the goal where Christian Pulisic scores that goal. I mean, it's just like, it's a movie. It's genuinely a movie. And then I interview Ethan Horvath immediately after the match.
You know, it's to be in my hometown. It's kind of I'm speechless.
What does it mean to win a USA-Mexico rivalry?
Well, it means everything. You know, everybody knows this.
Immediately coming off of that, I don't get a rest. I get to immediately prepare for my first national NWSL match, which having the NWSL on a national broadcast is incredibly important. And I was really excited. That's my first time covering the NWSL. So I did OL Reign against North Carolina Courage in Cary, North Carolina, which is kind of like another like full circle moment for me because I went to college at UNC, played college soccer in Chapel Hill. So again, just like a big moment to be on a big stage covering something that I'm really passionate about, and big football month for me. Football, soccer, whatever. People get mad either way. If I say football, Americans get mad. If I say soccer, Europeans get mad. So please don't come at me. I say them both interchangeably. But all in all, in summary, it's been quite the journey. You guys got to see my journey in Europe in the group stages, quarantining and all, and for it to culminate into getting to go to the final, covering it, that like moment where Chelsea wins, and I've been covering Chelsea, heading straight to Denver to cover the CONCACAF Nations League Final Four, and then doing the NWSL game. It's just, I'm not good at like words, and maybe I should study a dictionary more often, but really, really emotional, really privileged. I don't know how you top that month. I don't know how you top that, and for it to all have gone really smoothly is just really exciting, and I'm so grateful to be on the CBS team and to have all these coworkers that I really get along with and I really respect their craft. Oh yeah, we got to go hiking too, I forgot. I got to go hiking in Denver with Kate and Nico, and there's just so much. There's too much to fit in here, but it was just such an experience, and I really hope that this is not the last time I'm saying that. I hope that for forever I'm vlogging and telling you guys, holy smokes, I can't believe I was there, and it was incredible. And I just appreciate you guys wanting to follow along on this journey and watch as it all unfolds. Like, we're experiencing it together. It's all been exciting, it's been scary, it's been anxiety, has been shooting through the roof, and then you find moments where you're like, I'm free of that because I'm living this moment, and I should get to enjoy it. I should get to enjoy it, and I think that's how I felt recently. It's like, I don't want to feel the stress. I want to feel like I'm here, and I want to fully take that in. So thanks for following along. I hope you get another Jenny in Europe soon. If not, I'll be on the ground doing World Cup qualifiers next. So I guess it can't be called Jenny in Europe anymore. I'll need another like name for it. Jenny in football, Jenny, I don't know. If you guys have suggestions, let me know.